Director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center at the Consulate General of India in Durban. Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi. Mr. Duncan Rice, who is a fully qualified vegan yoga teacher who strongly follows the path of ahimsa, non-violence. He's lived and studied Hatha Yoga for many years in India with some of its oldest and most respected institutions. Having recently returned from Kolkata in West Bengal, Duncan is now teaching the ancient transformative philosophy of yoga in his Durban-based studio, Yogam Yoga, and online. Ms. Radhika Marimutu, a captain of the police service based at the Provisional Office, Corporate Communications with 32 years of service. She is also an advocate admitted to the bar. Ms. Isabel Stevens. She's a business owner and develops vegan products. She's also a student of yoga and visited the Shivananda Ashram in India. Namaskar and greetings to all of you, distinguished guests and online viewers. Welcome to the Sarva Hitay Yoga for All series, episode 3, Yoga for Police Personnel, to celebrate the Yoga Month of 2021. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Captain Radhika Marimutu with the South African Police Service, and I'm here today to interview Mr. Duncan. I'd like to thank the Indian Consulate General for this honor, and yes, I'm here today to learn more about yoga. I've actually heard about you, and your resume is so fascinating.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been all over India.
I have. I've lived in India, and I've lived in fact, Kolkata. I lived for a number of years, and I only returned to South Africa just before COVID started. So I'm now living in Durban. I used to live in Cape Town, so I've experienced this beautiful Indian culture in Durban as well.
Lovely. Yes, so in fact, as I said, I'm from the police, and our jobs are very challenging.
Yeah.
And we work in an environment that's very stressful in terms of what we do on a daily basis. So I think that to bring this concept into our working day is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So just for me to get kind of grasp of what this is about, yoga is about.
Yeah.
If you can just inform us.
Okay, so yoga is the term yoga means union, but it means more than just union. Yoga is written in many of the ancient philosophical texts, and in fact, Patanjali, who wrote the sutras sutras about 2,600 years ago, he wrote down this beautiful process of yoga, and how we achieve our own self-enlightenment. Now, what is self-enlightenment? And this is what the union is about. Well, self-enlightenment is about us actually discovering who we actually are. So through the yoga postures, through the breath, we slowly come to know how to calm the mind. And through calming the mind, we start to understand actually who we are. And sometimes that might lead us to understand our connection with the universe or the world, or if you have a religious background, it might be the divine or God, or whatever your belief system. Because yoga doesn't have actually any specific religious background. It's much more wider than that, and it allows people to come. So some people are a bit fearful of yoga because of that, but this beautiful practice allows us to get in touch with ourselves. And this is why it is so important for police officers, because you on a daily basis are going around with a stressful job, and you're focusing on other people. You're actually a very caring profession, if you look at it that way, and you're focusing on other people. So this is the opportunity for you to bring focus back to yourself, and help you to relieve some of those stressful things that you might have been experiencing in your job.
Okay. So you did allude to the fact that it's a technique of breathing, a sequence of postures that actually goes into calming the mind, body, and soul.
Yes.
etc. So, how would you say that this is beyond any physical kind of exercise? You get the normal physical exercise that people do. So, the fact that it's yoga, how is it different and how is it unique?
Okay, so we've got very different forms of yoga in the world at the moment. As you probably know, we even have rock yoga and power yoga. But if you want, I've studied the more traditional form of yoga, and when you come back to the source, what we are doing in the practice is we're working with the body on a physical level. So you will go into a posture, as we all know, the yoga posture, or asana as we call it. You go into that posture, and while you're in that posture, you start to breathe. And the posture is helping you on a physical level, stretching the body, strengthening the body, but also our whole body carries memory. Our cells in our body all carry memory, and we store that memory. So if you're stressful in your situation in the police force, if you are stressed, then we store that stress within many of those cells in the body. So in the release of these postures, and when you go into them and you're going through the breath, you start to release from the stress from the body. So the postures I'm going to do today are specifically for the police force to help them to release that stress from the body, as you see. And we use the breath for that. And while we're doing that with the breath, slowly the mind becomes calmer. And then we're able to more and more observe the mind. So yoga is in fact all about awareness. Awareness of the body, awareness of the breath, and awareness of the mind as well. When we can be aware of what's happening in the mind, we can start to control the mind and live our lives more in equilibrium.
Okay, so I spoke to you about this just now, in terms of, what we do, the fact that we do policing, and it's a broad, spectrum.
Yes.
Okay, so what, in fact, do you think are the most important, asanas?
Yes.
Yeah, that we, that's going to help us basically.
So we have a beautiful practice. I know you're a very busy people in the police force. Again, it's a very busy job. So you obviously, you've got children and families, and you need to come home. So there's an amazing practice called the Surya Namaskar, which I'm sure someone is going to do over this course leading up to the World Yoga Day on the 21st of June. I'm not going to do that today, but the Surya Namaskar is a beautiful, beautiful practice that you can do. But as you'll see today with the exercises I'm going to do, you'll see how these postures that I'm going to do will lead to the release of tension from the body. So this is the little course I've designed for police people, is really designed so a complete beginner can start the yoga. And once you start to do this practice, you can then slowly go on to more advanced things. But the Surya Namaskar, the sun salutation, is an amazing, amazing practice to use.
Okay. Sometimes people are daunted by the fact that they have to do certain things that maybe they cannot bend and touch their toes. So they're going to say, and I know the Surya, in fact, the Surya Namaskar is a sequence of 12 such poses.
Yes.
And I know one of them is where you have to actually bend and go down and
yes.
touch. So some people, if they have to look at the sequence, they're going to say, oh, okay, you know what, I cannot do this, and they're going to get daunted. So can they take that part out?
Of course they can. Yeah, initially you can take it out, because the Surya Namaskar is in fact 12 postures that have been put together to create a sequence of postures. So it's a little yoga practice in itself. So you can modify the Surya Namaskar. In fact, if you can't bend down, you don't need to bend down. You can, if you're going to touch your toes and you can't get to your toes, then you just keep the body upright. Or if you can't go onto your knees, then you can put a cushion on the floor.
Okay.
When you're going down into the Surya Namaskar onto the floor. So you just modify it according to you, and slowly the body will open up. So our bodies become really, when we tense, our bodies really climb up. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to open the bodies up, and through the yoga postures, our whole body just opens up. And you'll see at the end of our practice today how that happens.
So yeah, there is in fact one more, asana there, the cobra pose.
Yes.
The Bhujanga asana.
Beautiful, beautiful posture, yes.
Yeah, in fact, I think when I was speaking to some of the members, this week, they were interested in that because they felt that that is something that they can do, easily as
Yes.
compared to maybe some of them. I mean, it's not the members, per se, but it's people basically. Just as you age, you cannot bend down, but there were certain things there that were very easy for them.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So
Bhujangasana is a beautiful pose, and it's also very, very good for the kidneys as well, and the kidney function.
okay.
So one of the things I want to add as well, that one of the things that Hatha Yoga particularly does, it works on the endocrine system.
Okay.
So the whole hormonal system of the body, and it starts to build and bring that into harmony. And the Bhujangasana is one of the postures that really helps with that. It particularly works with the kidneys. In the Chinese philosophy, the Taoist theory,
Okay.
they believe the kidneys actually control the rest of the body.
Yes.
And you can understand that because if someone goes into hospital and they have kidney failure, unless they go to dialysis, they will die.
It's
So
multi-organ.
everything else fails.
Yes.
So they're very clever. These ancient philosophies in India and in China, they found that these organs are all connected in some way. So keeping the kidneys functioning properly is a very important part of what we do in the yoga. And the Bhujangasana is a really good posture for that.
Okay. Yeah. So, are there any special concerns or hints or warnings or anything that the police need, to look out for in terms of, the asanas or in terms of yoga?
So I would say no, but the one thing is they need to start gently. So with all forms of yoga, I know police people are very competitive. My police friends are very competitive. They love sports and various things, so they're very competitive, and they just need to realize that they mustn't be competitive in yoga because everyone's body is different and they need to work according to their own body. So this is a very important point, but there's no limits to the yoga because as a beginner you can do the beginner postures and then eventually you lead to the intermediate and so on. So you just start off where you're happy. And the practice I'm going to do with you today will be a beginner's practice for people to do at home, either before going on patrol or after patrol, just to get the mind ready for what you're going to face in the day, and then after that to just desensitize yourself from the experiences you've had during the day.
And I just want to ask, how important is a warm-up before you actually start your yoga, or is warm-up incorporated?
Well, that's a good point that you should say. Depending on the type of yoga you're going to be teaching, a warm-up is good. The Surya Namaskar is actually used as a warm-up. You heard that Isabel studied at the Shivananda school of yoga, and the Shivananda teaching was always to start with the Surya Namaskar as a warm-up. So you're doing the postures gently, you don't go deep into them, but you just warm up slowly. So this is, you can use the postures as a warm-up, but depending on the postures. If you're going to go into some more of the advanced postures, then you maybe do some of the simple, more postures that you can do. So unlike other kind of exercises, you kind of go, if it's taught properly, you will move slowly into deeper postures. You'll start in very gentle ones, which are a kind of a warm-up anyway in themselves, and you'll move into the deeper postures. Yeah.
So yes, it's very informative, and I'd like to thank you for that, because I am doing a series of articles for the SAPS in terms of yoga months.
Oh, brilliant! That's
yes,
fantastic.
so I mean basically I'm going to use what you said today
Wonderful.
for the members so that they can benefit and
That's so sweet.
they
Yeah.
can just make their lives better, and they can get all their stress levels down
Yeah.
and just be calm,
Yeah.
that mind, body, and spirit.
I would love to come and teach some yoga.
Of course, definitely. I'm sure we can, go ahead with that.
I've also studied, on the other side, I've studied prison yoga as well.
Okay.
So, which has there's a deep connection between the two, because there's stress inside the prison.
Yes.
And the prisoners need to learn how to calm their stress and calm down. So it's quite interesting that I've also studied that other side. So, you're in the job of catching criminals and putting them in jail. So I've been at the other end of trying to reform prisoners and getting. So there's a great synergy in this yoga and how we can make change for the police people, as well as change for those criminals who offended. So it's an amazing practice, and it's so good that the Indian consulate here in Germany is doing this for us. I think it's going to be an amazing month.
Thank you so much once again. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste, everyone. Namaste to you, Isabel, and namaste, Radhika, who've joined with me today. So we are going to do a practice today for police personnel, and especially designed this practice so anyone can do it from a complete beginner. And this might lead you into further practice of yoga as you feel the full benefits of it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to come and lie down on our backs, and we're going to focus on the breath. One of the biggest problems that I think that police personnel have is stress. So by focusing on the breath, we slowly learn how to de-stress ourselves. So this is one of the foundations actually for meditation, is to come back to the breath. So we're going to come and lie on our backs in a position called Shavasana, the corpse pose. So you part the legs, you roll down onto your back, your palms are facing upwards, and you just roll the shoulders down to the mat. And just get yourself nice and comfortable here, and you're just going to start to just focus on your normal breath. So your normal breath in and your normal breath out. So just be completely aware of this, how you're breathing in and out, and just notice those little still points in between the breath. When we breathe out, there's a little still point, and as you breathe in again, there's a little still point. So just be completely aware of this as you are lying on your back. So also now just become aware of the breath coming in through the nostrils. You might notice that the breath is nice and cool as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, the breath is warm. So we're slowly building up our awareness. So in yoga, it's all about the breath and our awareness. Awareness of what the body is doing, awareness of what the energy within the body is doing, and awareness of our thoughts as well. So we can start to control our own thoughts. So just be aware of what's happening inside the body as the breath moves from the nostrils down into the lungs. Notice how the ribs are moving upwards as you breathe in and dropping down, and the belly moving out softly, in and out. And as you breathe out, the air moves back up and out through the nostrils. Notice which of your nostrils is more dominant today, the right or the left. We call that in yoga the Pingala and the Ida. Sun energy, which is a very strong energy, maybe if that's more dominant today, you'll feel that strong energy. On the left, very soft energy. Now we're going to start to extend the breath. This is called pranayama, the extension of the breath. So as you get to breathe in, you're going to breathe in on the count of 4. You're going to hold the breath in on the count of 4. You're going to breathe out on the count of 4. And you're going to hold the breath out on the count of 4. So you're going to do it with me, counting 1, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Now let's do this by yourself. 2 more rounds by yourself, just focusing on the breath. When you've finished, just notice what's happening inside you. So just notice how maybe the body has become a little bit more calmer, and notice how your mind maybe has calmed down a little bit. This breath is called a square breath, Samavriti. And then bring your heels together, your toes together, and stretch up behind you on the mat. Do a nice long, deep stretch out. Place the left hand on your belly. Bend the left knee. And just roll over slowly to the right side. And then slowly from here, you're going to push yourself up to a comfortable seated position. So we're now going to do another pranayama, because as police personnel, we need to really learn how to calm the mind. But this one also starts to work into the organs of the body. So we're going to work into the lungs, we're going to work into the diaphragm, the internal organs, as well as cleansing the nostrils and the sinuses and brightening the mind, ready for our practice. So we're going to bring, this practice is called Bhastrika Pranayama. We're going to bring fists to our side, and as we breathe in, we're going to stretch the hands up and the fingers right up, and then we're going to breathe out a strong breath as we come down. So it goes like this. So we're just going to do it in your own time. If you get a little bit lightheaded, just stop and bring the breath back to normal. It's a very, very powerful breath. Very cleansing, detoxifying breath. Then stop, bring the hands onto the knees, close the eyes, and just notice as we breathe in and hold the breath, how quiet the mind becomes after this very vigorous practice. So pranayama, breathing, the slowing of the breath, is really an aid to quieten the mind. It's a beautiful, beautiful practice, but also has huge benefits for the body. So in Hatha Yoga, we practice pranayama equally to the postures, or the asanas as we call them. So gently blink, open your eyes, and we're going to come now to standing. So now we're standing, we're going to start working on the postures that can really help police personnel. The first posture, but this can actually help anyone. So anyone watching this today can do these postures, and will help you to release some of the stress. We store a lot of stress in our shoulders. So we're going to be working on this area today to help to release the stress from the shoulders. So the first posture is called Tadasana. So it's a standing posture, and we're going to bring our big toes together if we can, otherwise the feet slightly apart, and we're going to clasp the hands in front of us. We're then going to take the hand up, and we're going to turn the hand and place it upwards on top of our head. Now we're going to do this 5 times. If you're practicing this at home and you're doing the sequence at home, you can go up to 10 times doing this posture. So you're going to stretch up as you breathe in onto your tiptoes. So this is a beautiful balancing posture. Hold for a couple of seconds, and then as you breathe out, you bring the hands down. So you're going to just do this 5 times in your own time, stretching up and slowly coming down. It's a balanced posture. These balancing postures are very good to start the practice in yoga with, because they get our mind focused, and it also helps to calm the mind. But we're working up into the shoulders now, stretching up into the sides of the body as well, and working into the spine. So we also store a lot of our stress in the spine as well. So when you've finished your 5, you just bring the hands down to the side slowly and by the side. Now what we do in our Hatha yoga practice is we always stop, close the eyes, take the hands behind the back, clasp the left wrist with the right hand, and just feel that energy moving through the body. So we have the physical energy, of course, is what's happening with the muscles, and the muscles come to rest after about 16 seconds. The blood flows back into the muscles. But we also have the subtle energy, the kind of energy, if you rub your hands together, you can feel the energy on your face. Well, this moves inside our body, so we need to feel that energy, maybe tingling or warmth. So become fully aware of what's happening. So now we're going to work into the shoulders again by just bringing the hands onto the shoulders in front of us. And you either, if you've got tight shoulders, you're just going to make big circles on the 2 walls at the side, like that. Or, if you can, you're going to bring your elbows together to touch, bring them up as you breathe in, and as you come down, you're going to breathe out. So you just keep moving 5 times one way with the breath, breathing in as you come up, out as you go down. This is a beautiful posture just to open the shoulders. So as you can see, this yoga today, we're using the breath, and through the breath, we're going to really calm the mind down. When you've done 5 one way, you're just going to reverse and go the other way, and just carry on in the same way, breathing in as you come up, out as you come down. Just in your mind, just say, I'm releasing the stress from my shoulders. People often in the military and the police, they often have really, really tight shoulders because they have to stand to attention a lot. So this is about relaxing the shoulders. So just feel your shoulders nice and relaxed now. Grab your left wrist with the right hand, close the eyes, and just feel what's happening in your shoulders. Just be completely and fully aware. So now we're going to do Tiraka Tadasana. So this is the tree posture again. You can either have your feet slightly apart, or you can bring the toes together if you want to. And you're going to take the hands up again, stretch them up to the ceiling, and we're going to slowly bend over to the right side. As we bend over to the right side, we're going to breathe out. We feel that beautiful stretch down the left side of the body. And then we're going to stretch up to the ceiling as we breathe in. And as we breathe out again, we go to the left. We're just going to do this 5 times, moving from side to side. So we're stretching the spine in a lateral way. And remember, I said to you that we carry a lot of stress in our nervous system. So this is our central nervous system runs down the spine. So we're really, really releasing that stress in the central nervous system. We've done the shoulders, and now we're moving to the spine. Just keep moving with the breath from side to side, breathing out as you go to the sides, in as you come up. Beautiful, beautiful movement with the breath. As you breathe, so you move. As you move, so you breathe. And then when you've finished your 5th one, bring the hands down to the side, part your legs, grab the left wrist with the right hand, and just notice what's happening in the body. Notice on the physical level what's happening in the sides of the body, and also just notice, maybe you can feel the energy moving in the body in the form of tingling or warmth or cold or some other sensation. Now we're going to come down onto our hands and knees. So we're going to start, the first posture is Vitala Asana, the cow. So you're going to raise your head up, you're going to drop your spine down towards the mat, and you're going to feel your buttocks and your head trying to move towards each other as you breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to come into Majari Asana by pushing up into the arms, rounding the back, and pushing the hips towards your arms, getting this beautiful, beautiful cat stretch. And then you're going to move back down into the cow posture as you bring the head up with the breath, just breathing 10 times, just going in your own time with the breath, in and out. Long, deep breaths as you move from one posture to the next. This posture is incredibly good for the spine. This helps the central nervous system particularly, creates flexibility in the spine, and is also very, very good for the sexual function. And the muscles in the stomach. But one of the most important things that we're looking at is the hormonal balance. As I spoke about earlier, the whole of the endocrine system. So this keeps us from being reactive, having mood swings, and helps us to be calm as humans. So from here, we're now going to push back and come and sit, push our buttocks back to our heels, and then bring the hands forward as much as we can. Bend the elbows and bring the head down, onto the mat into this beautiful posture of Shashankasan. Shashankasan, the moon posture, and sometimes called the hare posture. So feel the back stretching out here after that practice. And this is a beautiful, beautiful resting posture. So as you lie in here, feel, as you breathe in and out, feel the belly pushing against the thighs, giving the abdominal organs, again, a gentle massage. Notice what's happening inside the spine after these beautiful movements. So you're going to slowly come up and you're going to bring your legs out in front of you, and we're going to come to this very, very important posture called Supta Pavamuktasana. This is called the wind releasing posture because it really works into the abdominal organs, particularly the colon, to release wind and constipation and other problems. And constipation also causes a lot of stress in people, so it helps to just release everything inside us. So we're going to slowly lie down onto our backs, and we're going to bend the right knee into our chest, and we're going to pull the knee towards us as we breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to see if we can raise the head up to the knee. If you find that difficult, just keep the head on the floor. As you breathe in again, you're going to lower the head, and as you breathe out, the leg's going to come down. So we're going to do this 5 times on the right side first. Breathe in, knee to the chest, breathe out, raise the head to the knee, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, the leg comes down. Breathe in, knee to the chest, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, leg comes down. Breathe in, knee to the chest, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, leg comes down. And finally, breathe in, knee to the chest, breathe out, head comes out, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, leg comes down. Left side, breathe in, knee to the chest, pull it nice and tight, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, leg comes down. Breathe in, knee to the chest, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, the leg comes down. Breathe in, knees to the chest, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, leg comes down, and breathe in, knees to the chest, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, legs come down. Now both legs together, breathe in, knees to the chest, breathe out, head comes up, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, legs come down. Breathe in, knees to the chest, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, legs come down. Breathe in, knees to the chest, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, legs come down. Breathe in, knees to the chest, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, legs come down. Last one, breathe in, knees to the chest, breathe out, raise the head, breathe in, lower the head, breathe out, legs come down. So now just come and lie in Shavasana for a moment. Just feel how this posture has really worked into the spine, into the hips. So we're now moving down towards the hips and the abdomen because we also store a lot of stress in the hips. And we've worked our way down from the shoulders all the way down the spine and to the hips. So at the end of this practice, you should feel completely relaxed and de-stressed. Just rest here for a moment. Shavasana. So bring the heels together, the toes together, stretch up behind you on the mat. Just stretch, 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 stretch. Bring your left hand onto your belly, bend the left knee, and just roll over to the right side. And push yourself up to sit. So we've been working on the hips, so we're now going to do Purna Titali Asana, the butterfly posture. So you can bring your heels together if you can. You can have them out like that. With your sorry, not your heels, your actually your soles of your feet together if you can, and your heels. And you can bring them out there. If you can bring them closer, that's great. If you can hold on to the legs or the feet, that's great. And you're just going to flap your wings. So you're going to flap your wings up and down. Just feel the hips opening here. So this is a beautiful hip opening posture. You can do this for about 30 rounds. And release. Just bring the legs out in front of you. And come and just rest for a moment in Pranaviksiti. Just feel the energy moving in your hips. And finally, we're going to end with the Ardha Matsyendrasana. So you bring your feet together. You're going to bend the right knee, and you're going to take the right knee over the left. And you're going to place your left hand onto your right knee. And you're going to take the right hand behind you. You're going to lift up through the crown of the head, and you're going to twist around to the right with the head and the body. So twists are really, really good for the spine. They right any problems that you might be having with the vertebra and the discs, but equally it's very good for the endocrine system. Squeezing out again the organs, giving them a massage. And we bring the head forward, bring the body forward, bring the right leg forward. Bend the left knee now, take the left foot over the right, place the right hand on the left knee, take the left hand behind you, stretch up through the crown of the head, and then twist around. So the stretching, we move the vertebra apart to make space for the discs so we can go into the twist and look behind you. head forward, body forward, bring the legs forward, and we're going to come and lie now in our final resting position, which is Shavasana. This is the most important posture of yoga. We should always do this posture, whatever postures, even if we've done just the Surya Namaskar, we must always lie back into Shavasana at the end to allow the body to come to full rest. So part the legs, part the arms, and just be completely rested here. So just feel the shoulders rolling down. If you can't feel the shoulders rolling down to the floor, you can take your arms a little bit wider. Lift the head, tuck the chin, lower the back of the head onto the mat. Gently rock the head from side to side. Just feel completely relaxed here. If you need to bend the knees, you can bend the knees as well. Cushion under the knees. This is a very, very important posture. And you just now, we're going to do a little exercise, a 4-part exercise which you can practice at home when you're lying in Shavasana. The first thing is to scan through your body and notice all the parts of your body that are lying on the mat. So be completely aware of all those parts from the heels to the calves, all the way up the body, and just feel them lying on the mat, those parts touching the floor. Then you physically are going to go through your body, and you can scan through the body and notice all the parts of your body and try and relax every single part. So we're going to start on the right side, and you're just going to look at the right side of your body, your hands, your elbow, your shoulder, the side, the buttocks, the hip, the foot, the leg, the knee, the lower leg, calf, ankle, and the foot. Just feel them, every little bit of your body completely relaxed on the right side. And then you take yourself to the left side and do the same thing, from the hands, moving all the way down the left side of the body. Then you move to your head, all the way down the back. And then you move to the front, from the head, eyes, nose, mouth, jaw, tongue, cheeks, ears, throat, front of the body, stomach. Just feel the whole body now lying on the mat, completely relaxed. The whole body is completely relaxed lying on the mat. And then just look at that area in front of your eyes called the Chitakasha, closed eyes, that infinite space that's there in front of the closed eyes. And imagine your body is lying in that infinite space, just slowly drifting downwards. And as you're drifting down, weightless, just bring yourself back to your breath as you did at the start of the practice. Your normal breath. And then bring your heels together, your toes together. And then stretch up behind you on the mat. Place your left hand on your belly, bend the left knee, and just roll over to the right side into the fetal position. Just rest here for a moment in the fetal position. And then we just come up to sitting slowly. Come into a comfortable seat. Keep your back nice and straight. Tuck the chin slightly. We're just going to end with a pranayama, which is really good for police personnel, or anyone in the world, in fact, to calm the mind. It's one of the most beautiful practices. It takes the vibration into the higher levels of the head, and it's called Brahmari pranayama. So you're going to bring your fingers into your ears. When you're practicing this at home, you can do this for 5 to 10 times, but yeah, we're just going to do 3 rounds of the Brahmari today, just to demonstrate it. So you put the fingers in the ears, and you just get to hum 3 times, and then bring your hands back down to your knees when you've finished 3 hums. So it goes like this. Finish, just bring your hands down to your knees. Just notice how calm your mind is feeling now after the Brahmari breath. This helps you to sleep at night. It's beautiful, beautiful practice. We're just going to end the practice by bringing our hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And we end with the closing mantra, which really, really resonates with the police force. May we all be happy. May we be free from illness. May we see what's auspicious. And may there be no suffering in our world, ending in 3 Om Shantis of peace, peace, peace. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. Sarve santu niramayaha. Sarve bhadrani pashantu. Ma kaschit Dukkhapaha bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Keeping the eyes closed, take your hands behind your back, clasp your left wrist with the right hand, and gently bow forward to Mother Earth in Yoga Mudrasana. This is a yoga posture, in fact, to stretch out the back and slowly come up. Keeping the eyes closed, rub your palms together nice and vigorously. Then cup them and place them over your eyes. And just feel the energy from your own hands moving into the eyes. This is a beautiful practice that you can practice if you have really tired eyes at the end of the day, or if you're at work and you feel a little bit tired. This just rejuvenates and restores the eyes and relaxes them. And then just with the eyes closed, just gently bring the fingertips down to your eyeballs, give them a gentle massage around the eyes, your forehead. Massage your temples one way and then the other. It's a beautiful yoga exercise of massaging 10 times one way, 10 times the other on the temples to relieve tension, headaches, and then bring your hands to your cheekbones and massage the cheekbones. And then bring the hands out in front of you with the palms facing towards the eyes and gently blink into your open palms. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining me today, Isabel and Radhika. It's a beautiful practice, and I hope all people around the world will get benefit from this beautiful practice to relieve tension, and particularly the police force. Thank you very much.
Thank you to all our yoga tutors who participated today. And that brings us to the end of episode 3 of our Sarva Hitay Yoga for All series. I would like to thank the director of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Dr. Chaitanya Prakash Yogi. On behalf of the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, I would like to thank our guests, Mr. Duncan Rice, Ms. Radhika Marimutu, Ms. Isabel Stevens, for lending us their time and showing us the importance of yoga. I want to thank our online viewers for being with us, and please remember to like